lineup, information about important recalls may not be reaching everyone who needs it. The push to get the details where more people can see and share them. And everyone from nurses to teachers have been trying to get relief from student loans. But a government watchdog is raising concerns that the fix for a student loan forgiveness program still isn't working. Also this.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
Santa's helpers are already preparing. We're taking you inside one of the most elite Santa schools in the country.
Thank you, Annie. Welcome into the Now Indy on RTV6, grooming and guiding young students. RTV6's Stephanie Wade shows us how a barbershop in a local high school is mentoring male students to be the best they can be.
Class is in session.
So, fellas, thank you for coming to the shop session.
And so is Mr. Yakey's barbershop.
What we got here, we got my brother DJ, one of our seniors.
Mr. Yakey is not only the vice principal of culture and mission at Providence Cristo Rey High School, but he's also the school barber.
A haircut is not about your initial cut. It's much like life. It's not always about getting a fresh cut. It's about maintaining what you have.
He calls his shop grooming the outer man, guiding the inner man. Students set up an appointment to have their hair cut for free. He styles their hair like in a typical barbershop, while the conversation just flows.
Where they can talk about grooming the outer man, and then they talk about the man they can't see, but they feel, why am I angry? Why am I upset? And then, honestly, there's a lack of fathers. I've become a surrogate father to so many people.
The idea is to give kids, particularly boys without male role models, the opportunity to bond man to man.
I'm giving you a free haircut, but I'm giving you something that can change your life.
It eventually got really deep, and then we actually talked about some things that kind of hit, you know, some soft points.
In order to move up, you got to move out. What do you mean by that?
He instills life skills, professional development,
how to handle situations, pressure,
and empowers these young men to be the best they can be.
How to be an African American in a corporate world.
The climate that we're in, you see more and more every day young people who are doing life-changing decisions, and it's a lack of character.
Cristo Rey is a private school meant for low-income minority students. They say they're part of the solution to Indy's growing crime problem.
When we started talking about stuff that really made me think about it, I matured. I matured a lot. I stayed out of trouble, because I knew I had a bigger mission.
Now they take the mirror, they want to brush their hair. Now they're caring about how they look. Now they're caring about how I present myself. Now we get into first impressions. Now we get into what society say you are and what you say you are.
With a simple haircut.
Sometimes in order to do something great, you just got to do something.
This teacher is changing children's lives.
Life is what you make it.
Once you change yourself, then you're able to change the community that you live in.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thank you, Stephanie. And through Cristo Rey's work-study program, their students have to earn their tuition. They have partners like IU Health and Eli Lilly, where once a week kids go to work. They don't receive a paycheck, but instead earn their tuition. Kevin.
Won't be long. You can see Lucas Oil Stadium on the right-hand side of the screen there. The roar of NFL football. I think it's the Bears and Packers tonight kicking off the season. 77 with sunshine right now. No matter what direction you look, it's comfortable and clear. The wind out of the north, that gives us low humidity. Temperatures through the evening hours will steadily fall off. When the air is dry like this, we're able to cool off and then stretch out the high temperatures after the morning low. Clear sky, light wind. We've dried the ground even more, so I don't think we'll have much in the way of patchy fog. Temperature this morning was 51 in Peru and Lafayette. You'll be a handful of degrees warmer, and during the day tomorrow, more in the way of cloud cover. The clouds will increase, maybe a couple of sprinkles or very light showers, and will almost hit 80.
Donations are pouring into the Bahamas after being hit by Dorian, but the process of getting donations to people can be a challenge. Chris Stewart is looking into what can be done to help.
Sarah Ann Showell has now seen it for herself.
They don't look anything like they're supposed to. Entire buildings are flattened. The trees are all snapped like toothpicks. There is no greenery left.
She shot this footage flying over parts of Green Turtle Key, a Bahamian island hit hard by Hurricane Dorian.
It's honestly hard to figure out what you're looking at. And these are places that you know really well.
She She needed to see what the storm did to her family's resort, Green Turtle Club. It's the largest employer on the island with about 50 employees. And while the storm left its mark, she says everyone she knows who stayed on the island is okay. Her marina's docks are still standing, but some of the club's buildings and many of the other structures on the island are destroyed.
Flying over from the air is pretty crazy to see because it's really hard to recognize places that you've been going your whole life.
Now she's leading an effort to get help to the people of the Bahamas. She's set up multiple drop-off locations in South Florida.
Looks like there were little mini tornadoes just like ruining certain areas. Or if they're not flattened, they're compromised to the point where they're not livable. So they're saying over and over again that they need tarps, big ones, heavy-duty ones.
And boots. In fact, when we spoke to her right after she returned home, she didn't have shoes because she gave them to someone on the island.
It's a flip-flop world over there. They need durable boots that are waterproof, even sneakers, even anything that they can, work and get stuff done in.
Pumps, chainsaws, air mattresses, and generators will go a long way. Shaul already has raised more than $200,000 in just 48 hours with the GoFundMe page. Much of that money will fuel planes to get those donations across. It's less than an hour flight from South Florida. She says the majority of the people who visit her resort are from there. It's a connection, she says, is about the people.
It's the people that you meet and the connections that you make with the locals are just so special. They are the most generous, heartwarming people that I've ever met. They would give you the shoes off their feet. They would give you the clothes off their back.
Bahamians who now need that to be done for them more than ever before. In West Palm Beach, I'm Chris Stewart reporting.
Chris, thank you. Well, still ahead in our lineup, recall messages may not be getting out to enough people. What could change to make sure more people can see and share this important information?
9. Rallies and checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
You're watching the Now Indy on RTV6. After 8 months, Metro Police have arrested a man they believe is responsible for firing multiple shots at a car with a mother and her 3 children inside. Luckily, the woman and her kids were not hurt. IMPD says the shooting happened in the early morning hours of January 28th on I-465 near 56th Street on the city's west side. Police say they followed several leads for 8 months, which eventually led them to a 27-year-old Indianapolis man. We are not naming the suspect because the prosecutor's office has not officially charged him yet.
There are a lot of product recalls, sometimes several a day, but not all of them get equal attention, so they can be easily missed. A new report suggests more can be done to make sure some of the most dangerous recalls reach the right people. The group Kids in Danger looked at missed opportunities to share information about recalled children's products. They looked at more than 122 products recalled over the last 2 years. Now, they found only a little more than half of companies that made the products posted the recalls on their websites. And even fewer companies are sharing the recall information on social media, where more people would actually share it. But Kids in Danger would like to see the Consumer Product Safety Commission require more from companies.
Unfortunately, all that's required is that they do the joint release, the press release with the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and that there is a remedy that consumers can get from the company, and there's a way to contact the company. So for some of them, that's a phone number. For some of them, it's an email. We believe that in today's day, we can certainly also require that there be a website posting.
Kids in Danger would like to see links on websites about recalled products that aren't broken. Now, several were, and that's an easy correction. It also wants more convenient methods for consumers to get the information, like on social media.
Well, it's important because to get to the point of a recall means that the product has already proved dangerous. Either they found a flaw in it, hopefully before there were any injuries, and they want to get it out of the marketplace. Or in the case, for instance, of the recent recall of the Fisher-Price Rock and Play, over 30 children had already been killed.
Meanwhile, you can sign up for Consumer Product Safety Commission email alerts on recalls through their website, and that's cpsc.gov. Well, getting back to our lineup, we're taking you inside one of the most elite Santa schools in the country.
6-year-olds have Santa radar. They'll spot a fake Santa Claus in a second, and they're not afraid to say it.
This is serious stuff, and Santa's helpers are making big money. See the training to get them ready.
RTV6 is working for you.
Turning to the Now newsfeed, T-Mobile is facing a new lawsuit. New York City says the carrier sold used phones as new to customers on its prepaid plan Metro. Now, this lawsuit comes as T-Mobile is looking to complete its massive merger with Sprint. All right, get ready for the return of the foldable phone. Samsung's Galaxy Fold goes on sale Friday in South Korea. The cost, nearly $2,000. It was supposed to go on sale in April, but the company ran into some issues. No word when it will hit U.S. shelves. And more potential trouble for Facebook. A report from TechCrunch says the social media outlet may have unintentionally exposed millions of phone numbers. The data appeared to come from an old server. However, Facebook says it has disabled the server. And speaking of Facebook, people looking for love online have a new option starting today. Facebook's dating feature is going live in the U.S. It's a separate profile you have to set up from your regular account. Now, Facebook claims it won't automatically match you with your current friends, but there is a feature that lets you choose to tap into Facebook and Instagram followers. Facebook says it won't use information from dating profiles for advertising and says there won't be ads on Facebook Dating. Well, Buffalo Wild Wings will start a sports betting test program along with BetMGM. Customers will receive enhanced odds and free bets when they use the BetMGM app inside Buffalo Wild Wings. The testing will start in New Jersey later this year, and the group says as more states legalize sports betting, they'll expand their program. The pot industry is seeing tremendous growth. New numbers show that people spend between $8 and $10 billion on recreational and medical marijuana each year. The pot industry is expected to be worth more than $15 billion next year. Well, some scientists say warning people days before a hurricane might not be good for your health. And researchers at the University of California, Irvine studied how the stress of an impending hurricane and watching hours of news coverage affected Floridians. Now, if people were worried early on, researchers found it was because they watched and read more news stories than others. And people who watched more than 4 hours a day felt more anxiety than those who didn't. And the study also found people were affected even if the storm ended up not hitting their home.
So for people who, in the days leading up to Hurricane Irma, spent more time per day consuming media coverage about the storm, those people exhibited greater symptoms of psychological distress in the month after the storm, even if they didn't see any negative impact to the storm directly.
Researchers found avid news watchers take early forecast predictions too seriously, and that causes additional stress.
Okay, thank you, Annie. Another mode of transportation is now more readily available across the city of Indianapolis. Today, Indianapolis Cultural Trail Incorporated announced a major expansion of Pacers Bike Share. It adds 275 new bikes and 21 new bike share stations in neighborhoods and destinations along the city's bicycle network, including the Monon Trail and Cultural Trail. There are now 525 bicycles available at 48 stations around the city as part of Pacers Bike Share. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis is all ready for the start of the football season. On Saturday, the museum will debut a new interactive exhibit called First and Goal. It's part of the Children's Museum's Riley Children's Health Sports Legends experience. First and Goal celebrates everything football. The Indianapolis Colts are prominently featured along with Indiana College and high school teams. In the exhibit, you can kick a virtual field goal, run a 10-yard dash. Colts tight end and Indianapolis native Jack Doyle will virtually coach drills similar to those runs at the NFL Combine too. A Colts 2006 Super Bowl ring will be on display, as well as a replica Lombardi trophy. Again, First and Goal at the Children's Museum kicks off on Saturday. Fun.
First and Goal from the Children's Museum to First and Goal at Lucas Oil Stadium. Won't be long. Hopefully we'll get some games this fall with the roof open, the window wide open, and conditions like this. It's beautiful. Temperatures into 70, 74 in Lafayette, 74 in Indianapolis. That wind is out of the north at generally middle to upper 70s. Through the evening hours, just like last night, the wind is calm. These temperatures will cool about 10 degrees by the time we get to 11 o'clock, 64 temperatures in the morning. they'll be in the 50s. Now, the change tomorrow, we'll have sunshine followed by increasing clouds. The wind will be out of the southwest. Some of the models are producing a little light shower activity. Temperatures should push close to 80 degrees despite the cloud cover that will be our challenge. As you go through the morning hours tomorrow, there are a couple of sprinkles, very light showers through midday, then sliding off to the east as we get to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, one little trailing line of some showers. Into the weekend we go. Saturday, 62 degrees in the morning, a dry day Saturday. Temperature as we get to the afternoon hours in the mid-70s, both Saturday and Sunday. Temperature should be in the mid-70s. The difference between the 2 days, that chance for thunderstorms coming into play as we get to the afternoon hours on a Sunday. We'll warm to 80 Monday, but the real warmth comes Tuesday. Temperatures will be in the middle to upper 80s. One last surge of temperatures as we tiptoe deeper into September.
Fewer pets are being vaccinated. Now, this is according to People's Dispensary for Sick Animals in the UK. According to the report, only 2/3 of pets received vaccinations when they were young, and nearly 1/3 are not getting their regular boosters. The UK Health Secretary says anti-vaxxers are to blame, and veterinarians here in the U.S. say that there is a correlation between fewer vaccinations in animals and more anti-vaxxers.
Some people are very much against vaccinations, think all vaccinations are bad. And then you have the other side of the coin where people want to vaccinate for every disease their pet could possibly get.
The American Animal Hospital Association generally recommends vaccinating cats and dogs in the first 6 to 8 weeks, followed by a booster 1 year later. After that, boosters are encouraged every 1 to 3 years, depending on the virus. But rabies is pretty much mandatory every year because it can spread to humans. Johns Hopkins is starting a first-of-its-kind research center. It will be looking into psychedelics. Now, these are drugs that alter your consciousness, like mushrooms, and researchers will look at what impacts the drugs have. And a big change when it comes to light bulbs, a ban on energy-inefficient bulbs won't go into effect in 2020 as previously planned. Now, the government says with the ban, people would have to spend more for the energy-efficient bulbs. Well, you can go to school for just about anything these days, including Santa School. Take a look.
Santa Claus, S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S. And my real name's Mark Gebhardt.
Throughout the year, Mark is a sound engineer, but come the holidays, he's known as good old Saint Nick.
It's like ingrained in my being. It's something I have to do.
So much so, to become the best Santa and well-paid Santa, Mark left the North Pole to attend Santa School.
It's really intense. We learn a lot, and we learn how to be Santa Claus.
It was high expectations, and they lived to every moment of it.
It's not all about makeup, reindeer, and saying,
ho, ho, ho.
All 30 Santas learn about child psychology, go through active shooter training, and what to do when there's unruly crowds.
We're really a brotherhood.
After beginning Santa School in January, tonight is graduation. They take the oath to be the best Santa they can be.
And have freely chosen to become a holiday entity.
Then handed their diploma. From superstores, corporate events, and private parties, they have less than 3 months to land a job.
I actually have an agent that I go through, and my agent gets me the job.
Because the supply for authentic Santas is so low, those who go to Santa School can make $100 to $500 an hour, depending on the location. Meanwhile, the average mall Santa only makes about $30 an hour, according to pay scale.
6-year-olds have Santa radar. They'll spot a fake Santa Claus in a second, and they're not afraid to say it.
But they all agree there's more to it than just money.
When I walk into a house and there's 10 children there, and they're all jumping up and down, screaming my name, Santa, Santa, Santa. Oh, it's amazing. It's wonderful.
Now, I love the holidays, but some of us might look at this and say, this is crazy.
It is crazy. It's a great kind of crazy. And I love it. I wouldn't do anything else. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
All right, finally in our lineup, everyone from nurses to teachers have been trying to get relief from student loans. But a government watchdog is raising concerns that the Fix for a Student Loan Forgiveness program still isn't working.